Hey, what's up, everybody? Metal Biker Dude coming at you here. It's Twitter Tuesday. So I had so many people comment on the Nahko video that we did, and I can tell that there's like this feverish pitch for more Nahko. I've had so many people request stuff over there, and also though. I had a conversation with somebody this weekend over on Patreon, and apparently they were at a Nahko show, and there were some people talking about my reaction, and so it kind of gave me the idea, you know what, it is time that we get back to this. You know, I debated on whether to talk about this, and I think I'm going to. So if you want to skip ahead about 4 or 5 minutes, go right ahead. Feel free. But, you know, I feel like there's this thirst. And I don't know if it's me personally, but I truth be told, I don't think it is. I believe there's this dying thirst for some unity in this world, not just in this country, in this world. And I can tell you that I've had so many conversations with so many people via Twitter and Instagram and Patreon and comment sections and YouTube and then some conversations that I've had with people with nothing to do with this channel. And I've always said, and you know, it's a phrase that I've coined. The key to unity is music, and there's a string that runs through music that can bind us together. And I kind of came up with that because when I started on this journey that I've been on for the past year and a half now, I've seen a change within myself, but just as importantly, I think that I've reached a lot of other people that may normally have looked at somebody like me and made their own judgments. We got to stop with so many things. But a big part of it starts with the judgments that we make about other people, because we don't know their background. You know, yeah, it's easy for people to look at somebody and say, hey, I can tell you everything about that guy. You know, I have a lot of people in my life that are like that. And it bothers me. I'm not going to lie. And I think we all have people in our lives. And I still love those people. But I think that there's a lot of those people that we wish we could just kind of shake a little bit and say, hey, you don't know that person. You don't know their story. You don't know their background. You know, I promise you I could write a book on my life and the things that have taken place in it. And as many of us could. I'm not unique to a crazy backstory. There are a lot of people out there with crazy backstories. I just think that it's very important that we quench the thirst that is out there. And I can tell you that I've talked to people from other countries, especially through Patreon. A lot of people from other countries and different cultures, and it's there, man. There's a thirst for unity. And there are a lot of reasons why there are a lot of roadblocks in place to keep that from happening. You know, a lot of it has to do with governments throughout the world, not just the United States governments. There's a lot of reason for keeping the walls between us. But I think that we could break through those walls. And I'm speaking this, you know, I know that the people that are going to watch this video, for the most part, I'm preaching to the choir. And that's the downside. Is I try to do this once in a while, to have these kinds of conversations once in a while in secular in the sense of Nahko music, right? Non-secular audiences. Not secular as in religion. And religion is a whole different story in itself in regards to not having unity, you know. So, but I think it's important to once in a while bring certain things to people's attentions. You guys have heard me state so many times now, you know, just one act of kindness and what that can do. You know, the butterfly effect, and how it can change the world. You know, it's not going to happen in my lifetime, and probably not our kids, but at some point down the road, it's going to happen. You know, there are renderings that were created by scientists that show. And I'm going to try to Google to see if I can find this. This is something that came up a few years ago, but of what humans will look like in 1,000 years or 2,000 years, one of the two. And we're all going to look a lot alike. Why not embrace that? Now, you know, I love diversity. Don't get me wrong. I think that everybody has something to offer. I think everybody in the world has something that they can bring to the table to create the smorgasbord, right? Food, stories, just acts of kindness from different ways and different means. You know, it's just like assuming that all rich people are bad. They're not. There's some wealthy people out there that do a lot of good. And to assume that all poor people are not educated. Well, granted, we didn't go to Colgate or Columbia or Princeton or Harvard, you know, Yale, whatever. But there's things that you can learn on the streets, right? And then sometimes they're much more invaluable. So everybody has something that they can bring to the table. And if we start embracing our differences, we can start celebrating them. And if we start celebrating them, that's when the unity happens. So I'm sorry I went on a little long. I understand that, and I apologize. But anyway, so Twitter Tuesday's poll was all Nahko songs. One is called San Quentin. One is called Aimua, Aloha Ki Akua, and Dragonfly. Dragonfly won. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, I put this up there, and I knew that it wasn't going to get a tremendous response. So be it. This one was a little more for me than for my subscribers. So indulge me once in a while. Allow me that space to do that, because it's part of what I want to see happen. I want to be part of the change. I'd be proud to be part of that change, And if somebody is old like me that, can embrace difference or different things in life, different music, different foods, different everything. Somebody that's in their 20s and 30s certainly can, and probably do a lot better job at it than I do. So let's try that. So let's get into this. It's called Dragonfly from Nahko. Oh, sorry about that. Hang on. I got to tell you, that sounds very familiar. Not familiar in the sense that I've heard this song, because I haven't, but it sounds like a Led Zeppelin song, and I can't remember which song that is. Wow, it sounds a lot like that. Okay.
You should put that cigarette out. You should have faith in my mouth. Like my mother, like your son, like my temperamental lungs. Each piece fits into the next. Like I'm not black and I'm not white. Both reveal me in my sight. You've got twinkles in your eyes. You say vegetarians save lives, but there's your wings despite my back. There's your baby's passenger. Will there be one more of me? Close my eyes and try to hide from my form of dragonfly. Chipped and peeled vehicle hoods. In that pen under the covers, I've been stealing from my lover. Moments I cannot replace. To my former dragonfly, I resist and I survive.
This is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. There's like this ambiance in the song that it sounds very natural in the sense of nature, and I love that fact. And listen, I don't want I don't want to try to tell you guys that I'm something that I'm not. I'm not a vegetarian. Hang on one second, you guys, please. Okay, sorry about that. What I was saying is that, I'm not a vegetarian. I enjoy meat. And I probably never going to change that. But I don't. I think we need to be careful here when we start pointing fingers. I understand the stance with a vegetarian. I get it, but it's a very slippery slope when we start saying that people that eat meat are not good people. Again, you wouldn't go into another culture. You wouldn't go to the Aborigines and say, "Hey, stop eating meat." They're going to kill you. You're not going to go into Uganda and tell them to stop eating meat. You're not getting out of there alive, So let's be careful here, with the idea that you have to be a vegetarian, and I know that that's not necessarily what the song is saying, and I know that not all vegetarians feel that way, but there are some that do like to make you feel inadequate if you're not a vegetarian. So, and then you have, levels of non-meat eaters, of, vegetarians and vegans and everything else. So, beautiful song, though.
What a state I brought this to. Logic lies of mine pull through. But what's that say of my character? I retreat back into nature. Will there be one more of me? To my form of dragonfly, I resist and I survive. This is resistance. I survive. I survive. I survive. This is resistance. I survive. I survive.
Wow.
I survive. This is resistance. I survive. I survive. I survive. This is resistance. I survive. I survive. I survive. This is resistance. I survive. I survive. I survive. This is resistance.
There's one thing that I love in music, and you can't do it on every song, okay? But I love when a song kind of builds a climax, and that's certainly exactly what happened here. I mean, we started off with this, little arpeggiated acoustic guitar, and it slowly kind of brought in a little bit of a beat to it, and then by the end, we have some soaring vocals and heavy drums, and it was beautiful. That was a beautiful song, man. It's funny because when I started this channel, I never, ever believed for 1 second that I would like rap, hip hop, country, or anything like this. And it just goes to show you that if you take the time to try to understand it, to appreciate it, with a new set of eyes, it can make all the difference in the world. And then something that you swore off becomes a favorite, and that's exactly what's taken place, man. I mean, I've become such a hip hop head, and I absolutely love rap, and I have come to really appreciate Nahko, and I'm going to continue this Nahko journey, as well as some other Nahko types, and I know that they're out there because I've been getting requests for them. So, and as well as country, and the thing about this kind of, by the way, ding ding. But the thing about this kind of music here is that it's kind of like this blend of 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s and today. It offers a lot to a lot of people, and that, I think, is the key. And I said this, I remember saying this in a video way back. I mean, a long time ago, maybe close to a year ago. And I said that I wish there was a music. And if somebody knows where I said that, please let me know. But I said, I wish there was a music that everybody would enjoy. And once that took place, that's when change could start happening. I remember saying that. And I'll be honest with you, this is the kind of music here that I think that could work for. You've got guitars, so you could pull in some, rock people. You have some very lyric-driven things here, where you could pull in some of the hip-hop heads, and then you have a tinge of a country sound to it, and I'm sure country people would like something like this. This is a very ubiquitous type music. It reaches across the world, and yeah, that was really good. Just so you guys know, if you are not following me on Twitter, I normally don't even talk about Twitter other than for Twitter Tuesday as far as promoting my Twitter account. But, we got 13 votes on this one here. So if you're into this music, please follow me on Twitter so that, we can kind of justify keeping things alive here a little bit. So, all right. I hope you guys appreciated this video, and I'm sorry it went on so long. But sometimes you got to delve into the deep, to get your point across. All right. Metal Biker Dude, peace.